Hello, my lovely audience. So this is What If Deku was Killer Croc, and I got some news and some story behind this. Big shout out to Lazy What If for helping me out with this, and also we pretty much came up with the story together. Now also, he was gonna do this one, but I asked him if we could switch the what ifs that we were gonna do, and what if I was gonna do before was Bane. I felt like I was gonna fuck it up, and yeah, I thought Croc would be easier. So, let's get down with Kill Croc. So, basically, how this is gonna work. Oh, and another thing, I am canceling the Supernatural What If because I cannot get back into that mojo again, and second, I fucked up. Big time. Made him too much like The Witcher, and if you don't know what Witcher is, look it up, because fuck me, I fucked up. And yeah, made him too much witchery. So yeah. Now, for what's going to happen here is this. Deku is going to have a strange quirk. First, it's going to affect his skin, giving him scales and, leathery skin like Killer Croc has. And it's all based around trauma. And I would say the doctors don't know this. And I would say that they say it's a quirk that they've never seen before. It's a very rare mutation. And if you hear a jet engine in the background, that's my PlayStation. After this, I'm going to be playing some video games. Anyways, quirk doctors, they think it's just a rare mutation. And I would say that Deku gets bullied for it, because he doesn't have anything yet that makes him stand out as what could be hero-like. And I'm going to say that Deku, this is what he's going to look like in the end. This face, this person. And I'm going to say that it'll affect his genes, his everything, really. And I'm going to say that when Deku's going through life, he had this when he was born, so of course he's going to be made fun of all the time. And his mom is going to be there for him and try to console with him and be like, it's okay, as long as you have me. And he would still go through so much. And as he gets older, like every other person, you're going to get more depressed. And this puts a strain on him. And he doesn't have a dad that's there. He feels like he doesn't care. And his mom doesn't really help. It's just hard for him. And I would say that's when the second stage happens. Second stage, basically, seeing how his whole body's already covered in skin, reptile skin, he starts to get a bit of, how do I put it? A bit of muscle mass. And he starts growing day by day. And I would say that Deku, when he's being called... I'm going to say that he doesn't get the muscle mass yet. I'm going to say that he gets claws. His hands and feet are more reptilian-like and have claws. His teeth start to sharpen and get very sharp and, can eat through meat very easily. And people are getting scared by this. People around him. And I would say that, everyone in school calls him Monster, or TikTok, here comes the Croc. And it's pretty fucked up. Being made fun of because he has a strange quirk that goes around an animal. Now, he would probably say that he's not a monster. He tries to every day, but they keep making it worse every single time he tries to fight back. Now, this would make him want to become a hero more, to show them who's boss, and to show them that he can become the number one hero while looking like this. But people keep putting him down and down. He gets getting hurt. And I would say this is when he develops... Bakugo can't really harm him because his skin is pretty indestructible. has a very good durability. Now I'm going to say this is where he develops his muscle mass. His insane muscle mass and growth. And I would say that he's slowly developing huge amounts of muscle mass and just muscle in general. Like, he's gotten so fucking tall right now. He's like, I would say like, 5'11", and he's like 6, and his mom is starting to get scared because he's not looking like her son anymore. Yeah. And I would say that Deku continues through life as he knows that his mom is afraid of him, knowing now that there's no one he can have. No one is probably going to like him, even if he becomes a hero. There's no one. And this sends him into an outburst when he's at school. I would say that Bakugo and a bunch of other kids are making fun of him. And they basically spill, like, I don't know, a drink on him. Because that's anime shit, so let's do it. And I'm going to say what ends up happening is this. Deku bursts out. This is where stage 4? Yeah. Stage 4, where he becomes able to... his quirk evolves again. But this one comes out a little slowly. With the muscle mass, it's going to grow stronger until he's like, good age. And what ends up happening is this. Deku, he basically has already become pretty hairless already and just kind of creepy. His eyes are turning yellow and, well, he starts being able to smell other people's scents. And I'm going to say that Deku also gains the ability to relearn the water this time. Now, what is going to happen with, the bullies? Well, he pretty much screams and then just runs towards them and pushes them away. But that does more than you would think because he doesn't know his own strength. So that sends everybody flying. And that's when the principal comes in and starts calling the fucking cops. And they think it's a monster, so they put their guns up at him. But then, after the whole thing is cleared out, and they find out that he's just a kid, and the cops are actually aiming their guns at him, other students become afraid, because they don't want to see him die. Yes, they bullied him, but they never thought he would die. And I would say this is where they kind of are scared. A bunch of the students that really didn't pick on him that much or just didn't pick on him at all, I would say that they were just more afraid of him. And they would go up to the cops and try to stop them, tell them that he's a student. He's not a monster, he's a student. And I would say that this hits Deku pretty hard because he's never had someone stand up for him. He's always stood up for himself. And he thinks to himself, where were you when I needed you most? Where were you? And he kind of just takes this help as people feeling like shit, but at the same time, fuck you, where were you? And what ends up happening is this. The police are obviously going to be, informed, and it was obviously a big mistake and misunderstanding, but yeah. And I would say that now people are calling him a monster. A giant monster, a freak. And they say that your quirk is completely just villainous, you villain. And they keep calling him a villain every single day. Every single day. Now, what shall we do next? Seeing as how he's going through hell right now and he's completely depressed, pissed off, and going into a whole big thing. And I would say that he stops taking classes at school at 10 and starts to get homeschooled. Now, I'd say he had less days of, school and all that, so that's fun. Because I would say he's a smart kid, like really smart. Because he's really working hard when he tries, and that's all he can really do. but he's at home with a mom who's afraid of him, who stutters every time she sees him, who looks down away from him, and doesn't look at him in the eyes, where he's hurting deep down. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that Deku, what he does next is this. That's where I would say stage 6 comes in. Enhanced muscle growth. And then I would say that stage 7 would hit as well. And this is going to be the last stage. Well, stage 6 would actually be more enhanced muscle growth, and he'd start be growing a tail. And also, he would, he'd be able to hold his breath underwater a lot longer than any other, than a normal person. And become stronger while swimming. And I would say that Deku, he doesn't always hang out in the sun. Like, he always goes, because his skin gets dry quickly, I would say that he swims a lot. So he goes out to the beach just to swim. And that's a part of his daily routine. And I'm going to say that Deku, people have seen him at the beach, and they called him monster, but some people are there, they've known him, and they just are afraid of him. That's it. And they think and some people feel bad, because if they had a quirk like that, they can only imagine what he's going through.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
You want more?
No, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm just doing a video real quick.
Oh, okay. Give me that then. Oh, no, you have to finish that.
Oh, no. I'm not. Yeah. I'm full. Just save it. I promise I'll eat it tomorrow. Okay?
You have to eat it for lunch.
Okay. Tomorrow's Monday, right?
Yes.
Cool.
I have to work. But not for long.
Gotcha.
All right. I'll bring you a protein drink.
All right. Awesome.
Okay?
Love you. Bye. All right. Now, where was I? Beach. Yes. So I'm going to say that Deku sees the trash at the beach early. Not beast. And he cleans it up. He sees that it's just doing harm, so he cleans it up. And I'm going to say that what ends up happening is this. Deku sees a sewerway and decides to go for a walk. And starts walking. And sooner or later, he's able to know exactly the entire layout of the sewer. And ends up actually memorizing the entire layout just by smell, hearing, and sight. He's able to see in the dark. And he's realizing he gets more quirks, and he always lists them down, like what he has. And I'm going to say that this is where he's finding his place. Somewhere he can be at home. And what ends up happening is this. Deku, I would say that Deku would go ahead and start hanging out down there more. And I would say there's reports of sewer workers going down there and they see him. So I'd say Deku stops for a bit. And once he stops, he really goes through hell. And when I mean hell, I mean fucking hell. People bully him more, and that's when I would say stage 7 comes into play. And stage 7, his tail's fully grown out. People are just calling him a lizard now. And what ends up happening is he, how do I put it? He develops a regenerative ability of sorts, like a lizard. And I would say he notices this when he gets hit by Bakugo's blast, and realizes that the bruising around his arm disappeared quite quickly. So Deku, naturally giant and just insanely strong, is gonna be insane. So what ends up happening for Deku here is this. Basically what ends up happening is he's like 15 now. And he's fully developed all of his quirks. And he's going through hell. He's becoming more angry and just hating people. But he still has one goal in mind. He wants to become a hero. He wants to become a hero and show the world that he can become a hero and save the world and protect people and do all that. He wants to do this. He wants to be a hero. And I would say that when Deku's going out to get something to eat on his own, because I would say his mom just doesn't want to be near him, he encounters the sludge villain. And I would say that Deku immediately starts fighting it. And when All Might comes by, all he sees is two monsters fighting. And I would say that he sees Deku kind of win. He's pounding into it, throwing random punches without any sort of fighting technique. And that's all he's doing. He's grabbing at it, throwing it around, and he's got kind of an upper hand in this. And I'm going to say that All Might comes in and says, stop, and is kind of hesitant because he can't really fight both monsters. Well, one, Deku's not a monster. He can't fight Deku or the sludge monster, so he's got to decide on who his target will be. And I would say that he says to Deku, what are you? And what exactly is going? Let's say probably would say halt, and then pretty much say I am here, so you can leave it to me, because I think he would kind of understand that this thing attacked him because it is volatile, the sludge monster. So he would understand that this thing might actually just be attacking a random person, and he might just be able to, help this person or something, because the sheer strength, he sees someone that could be the next successor. He sees someone that could do it, but he doesn't know. Now, what ends up happening is this. Deku pretty much stops what he's doing and throws the sludge onto All Might, saying you're welcome, and is about to leave until All Might says, wait, could I come back and ask you what exactly happened entirely? I've got to quickly go meet someone and quickly handle this out, but would you like to talk? And he tells him to wait where he is right now, and he'll come back. Now, what ends up happening is this. All Might takes the sludge around to the police, and I would say Deku waits there, amazed that he's gonna meet his idol, his role model, the person he looks up to, and he doesn't know what to say. He's thrilled. He can't wait. He's all giddy, but to everybody else, he looks completely creepy. And Deku, he's happy. And I would say that Deku picks up on All Might's scent and would probably, follow after him. And would almost look like he's walking in an aimless direction, but he's not. And I would say that's where he meets Small Might. And All Might would be kind of shocked because he sees a gigantic reptilian thing in front of him. And I would say that they're near an alleyway. And he would say to Small Might, All Might. And quickly Small Might would go, oh shit, how does he know? And he quickly tries to understand how he knows who he is, or tries to cover it up, at least saying, you're mistaken. And I would say that Deku says this. He says that your scent doesn't lie. I can smell people by scent. And I would say that's when All Might comes out about it. To a kid that doesn't really know anything and probably is going through hell. And I would say that that's when he finds out Deku's only 15. And I would say All Might would be shocked, because at 15, he is 6'4". And I don't know, I would say 6'9". Towering over him. And, what else do you want to think about? Let's see here. Deku would be obviously towering over him. And also, All Might would be shocked by just how big he is, how strong he is, and wondering why he looks like this. And also thinking it's probably rude to say that, but at the same time, he feels bad. He feels very bad. And you can only imagine what the person's going through. Well, Deku's going through, because he's, well, looks like a monster to everyone else. But he understands that as a number one hero, he's seen people with quirks that look like monsters, but they're not. And they're very nice people. People that he can actually rely on sometimes. And I'm going to say that this is what he thinks of Deku right now. And I would say that Deku, he wants to help people. He really does. And he says this to All Might. But he just doesn't know anymore. He doesn't know if he could become a hero. He doesn't know if he can do it. But he wants to believe that he can. He wants to believe in himself and become a hero. And I would say that what ends up happening is this. All Might tells to Deku, anyone can become a hero. It's all about what you have in your heart. If you have the desire and the will and the power inside you to actually become a hero, I believe you can. I believe that you can become the best hero there is. As far as that will can take you, as far as that inner power will take you, you could become anything. And if you wish to succeed me, then I'd love to see it. And I would like to teach you and become your mentor, if you will allow me. And that's when Deku is shocked, completely, and agrees happily. He agrees, without even thinking, and agrees. Because this is All Might wanting to have a successor for One For All. He would want him to have One For All to show him, kind of to just help him. Or better yet, maybe not give him One For All and just teach him his ways. And maybe find another successor. Because he realizes that if he gives him this quirk, it might hurt him. It might make him look more like a monster. And he doesn't want to risk that. And I would say that over the 6 months of training, he's learning about All Might, learning how to fight, and has got the principles down. And also, I would say that he teaches him how to fight in his own right. He's a big guy, he could charge at people, and his skin is pretty tough. And how tough are we talking here? Well, they went all out. And All Might had to go all out because his strength was insane. So he decided to go all out. And he saw that Deku, he was just perfect, but he doesn't want him to get hurt. So for the 6 months of training, he's not going to get One For All, but he's thinking about it. He's endlessly thinking about, should he give him it? Should he? He's got the strength. He's doing everything he can just to prove that he's a hero. He's got that soul. He's got the power to do it. And I would say that he really feels bad for him. And the more that Deku hangs out with All Might, the more it becomes lighter in his days. There's more light to him, and it feels like he's actually a person. He studies as hard as he can. He works out with All Might as hard as he can, learns how to fight as hard as he can, learns a bit of boxing, learns a bit of wrestling and grappling takedowns that he could use when he fights a villain, and he's ready. He's ready to become a hero. And I would say that what ends up happening is this. Deku learns a charging attack where he basically charges at them and starts using his claws to kind of knock people out of the way. Or just fully charge at them with his arms in front as an X, breaking through anything. And yeah, it just kind of pushes out to break the wall. And I would say that All Might is happy. He's really happy that someone also cleaned up a beach too. He's really just enjoying life right now. And feels like Deku is kind of a bit of like a son almost. But I'm going to say for the UA exam, for the written exam, everybody's going to be creeped out and they can't really focus because there's a gigantic crocodile, or Deku as a crocodile, sitting in a chair which looks like it will break any second, and is taking a writing exam. Now just imagine his hand, his huge hand, writing with a tiny little pencil. It's got to be the hardest thing in the world. But he's got good eyesight, so he could probably do it. And what ends up happening is this. Deku, he would immediately get pretty high. Like, I would say second place, because he's been studying all his life just to become a hero. He knows he's got the strength already, and he just wants to make it that his mind is smart. Like, it's smart enough to do things that he couldn't do before. And he studies hard. Extremely hard. And I would say that people are just scared right now. And when Deku gets to the practical exam, I would say he runs, for the practical exam, people are scared of him. So when Deku charges at the robots, he rips them to shreds, doing moves that are similar to All Might's. And he's punching at them, destroying them. And I would say All Might's looking up there from above, smiling, and also realizing that he might succeed him in so many ways. And he would also, I'd say All Might also knows all of his quirks that he has as a crocodile. Well, as himself. And I would say that he would help him. It's like, help him get all the quirks listed down. And I would say that Nezu would actually be intrigued by this. He would be intrigued by Deku having a unique quirk similar to Froppy's. And what ends up happening here is this. Practical exam goes pretty much the same. Just he destroys a shitload of robots and rips them to shreds while terrifying everybody else. But when Naraka is in trouble, he charges forward and lifts up the rubble with all of his strength and then moves her to the side with his foot. Well, actually, I would say when you put it on his knee and grab her and pull her out. And I would say that, because like anyone, if they were under that much rubble, there's no way they got impaled by something. And that's when he sees it. She's been impaled by rebar in the leg. And what he does is takes the rebar and bends it. And I would say Araka's scared. She's scared for her life right now. A monster is helping her. But not just any monster. This is Deku. A pure-hearted hero. And he gets her leg out of there, saying it's sorry, it's gonna hurt. And he gets her out of there, pulling her leg out, and then dragging her out of there, carrying her to safety. Now, I would say that he would immediately then put her down for Recovery Girl to heal, and Recovery Girl would see Deku as a hero. She would already know that what he has is a very rare quirk, like a rare, strange quirk. But at the same time, she knows that he's got to go on through hell because of it. So she doesn't want to do anything that would upset him or hurt him or anything. And she knows that All Might really has a lot of faith in him. So she believes in that faith as well and tries to console with Deku afterwards, why he wants to become a hero. And he says he wants to do it to show the world that even if you look like this, you could still become a hero. And those are some big words for a kid. Some very big words for a kid. Now, what is going to happen after this is this. For the classroom placement, I would say Deku gets placed in Class 1A. And immediately, his hero suit is actually just a jacket. Like, it is, well, I would say it's just some bandages wrapped around his arms. And I would say some really nice pants. Because he would kind of want to show off, well, have an open body. He doesn't really know what he wants as a hero suit yet. So he will make changes over time. Maybe. Now, what he is going to do is this. Deku, for the physical exam, I would say he does really good at it. Like, really, really good at it. And I would say immediately he pretty much aces it. Like, everything in, like, besides speed and speed, he really can really there's not much he could really do. He's pretty average in the speed area. but still able to keep up in the beginning with, later on he was able to keep up with Ida, but then fell behind because he was tired. And I would say that Aizawa sees Deku and is kind of, like, everybody's giving him glares. All the students are scared of him. And I would say Aizawa feels bad for him. Every second he's looking at Deku, and I would say that he wants to ask him a question right before he chooses who he wants to expel. And on the ball throw, Deku gets, like, I would say third place or second place. I don't really know. Because it's hard to say, really. And I would say he recognizes Bakugo, and Bakugo recognizes him, calling him tick-tock, here comes the Croc. And I would say that he doesn't really affect him as much as it used to, because he's used to it now. Now, as for what is going to happen with Deku, and Aizawa, well, Aizawa calls him aside real quick. Everybody thinks he's in trouble, but he's not. I would say Aizawa pulls him aside and asks him a question. With how you look and how you, have all this problem of how your quirk affects you, what is making you not want to become a villain? What is driving you? What is this hope that I keep hearing about? You have 3 people with huge amounts of faith in you because of one man. And I believe that I'm questioning that faith, because when I see you, I see someone's about to lash out. You look at the other people with a kind of glare of hate. And I would say that Deku says, what can I say? It's, yes, you can only hate the people that hurt you, or you can only just feel endless rage for them not being there. But in the end, it's what you do that decides who you are. And I decide I want to be a hero. That's why I'm here. That's why I want to be one. That's why I'm going to do this. This is who I'm going to try and be. Number 1 hero. What drives me is so that way no one else has to go through what I go through. Yeah. And yeah, he pretty much says, pretty much opens up his heart, really. And I would say Aizawa wasn't expecting it. He sees a big kid with muscle. He would think he's tough, but no, he's gentle, soft. He's got what it takes to become any type of hero, almost. Like a hero that can protect, save, defend, and go all out on a villain organization. He sees someone who could do all of that and do so much more. And when he takes into account of quirks he has, he could see that this is something that is insane. He's never really seen someone this big, this soft, and he kind of feels bad for saying what he said. And he says he's sorry. And sorry for judging him, and sorry for asking. Also, we should probably get back to class. And Izuku Midoriya, I'm not going to expel you today, because you just showed me an error in my way of thinking. And that is, I judged you too early. I'm not going to do the same thing again. I'm very sorry. And I would say that Deku, he's both fanboying and also just amazed and saying, no, it's okay. It's fine. It's obvious anyone would make an assumption, really. It's alright. And that hits Aizawa, because he saw him as a monster right at the second. But he didn't understand that monsters can be gentle. They can be heroes. They can be anything. If you are a monster, you can change. There's always change in you. And as long as you change in the beginning, you're fine. You can always be what you want to be, even if you look ugly. Even if you look horrible. Now, for who gets booted out, I'm going to say it is Mignetta, because I hate that pervert bastard. Or son of a bitch, really. And I'm going to say that Froppy, I would say she doesn't see him as a monster. Like, she kind of tells people to knock it off. And I would say that Deku hears this a lot and is glad someone is on his side for once. Someone stopping the bullying. And what ends up happening is this. What ends up happening is Deku, well, how do I put it? He basically gets a friend that he's never had before, or really had any friend. And I'm going to say that Floppy is there for him if he ever needs someone to talk to or anything. And she feels bad for him because you don't look like a monster, is what she would say. And I would say this is when they're leaving and all that. And she says to him, you look more like a person who's just hurt and going through a lot. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that. Hope that we can, be friends. And I would say that's where Deku says yes. I greatly appreciate that. Now, for what happens next, the Heroes vs. Villains, the USJ, Sports Festival, all of that I'm going to do in the next part. Because I think I've covered a lot of ground in this part. And also my phone is gonna die, so I'm charging it. And yeah, Zuko got to join UA, and his mother scared but is glad that he's able to succeed to his dream. She's glad, but she can't even look at her own son. And what ends up happening is this. I would say that All Might, at the end of the day, congratulates him for being able to get in and saying sorry about what Aizawa said. Now, I'm going to end it off there where he goes home, goes to bed, and gets some shut-eye while realizing he's got people he can lean on. Now, this is a message for anyone that is going through bullying or anything. If you are going through bullying or any hard time, I would not mind helping you out there and giving you some guidance. Because I am 19, gonna be 20 next year. I've seen my fair share of shit, so I might as well help out some people that are going through hell. So yeah, if you're going through anything, I will help you out if you need it. And I may just be a content creator, but hey, I'm a human being too. We all got souls, we all got a conscience, we all got good in us. We can always do what we can. And if someone is hearing this and is enjoying my videos and, well, is feeling like shit, I'll tell you this. It only gets better when you make it better. You can only make it better by how strong you are. And if you don't have the strength, rely on others. Rely on them like you have no choice. Rely on them as much as you can until you can find that inner strength and pull yourself up. Now, I wish you a good day, a good night, and, well, a lovely September. Have a great day, and good luck, everybody.